Welcome to Mastery of Events Academy. Episode 2, why event planning is more than a job. Why event planning is what I consider to be legacy work. That is what this week's episode is all about. If you have never been to our channel, welcome for the first time. And if you're back again, welcome back. I am so excited for this week's episode. I feel that this topic is so very, very important. My goal is to shift your mindset and to help you view event planning the way that I do. Because if you truly understand the impact and the magnitude of what we do, it's my belief that you'll do it with the utmost integrity, and that integrity will allow you to really come through for your clients and for yourself when challenges arise. The fact that what we do lives on for all time is what will continuously ground you. I know that it grounds me all of the time. When things happen, I'm like, okay, wait, this is somebody's big day. This is somebody's wedding. This is somebody's launch party. And that thought, it allows me to continue to move forward. And so without further ado, with the opening thought, let's get right into it. We aren't just planning events. We're helping people mark the moments they'll remember forever. This is legacy work. Before we get into this week's episode, I'd like to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I'm Kristina Cubero. I am an experiential event designer and producer, and I'm also the founder of Mastery of Events Academy. I've been in the game for over 15 years, designing and producing everything from social events to corporate events and large-scale brand experiences. I've had the honor of working with all of the brands that you see below, just to name a few. And through all of that, I've come to really understand what this work is truly about. It's not just about logistics or making things look pretty, although it is. It's also really emotional. It's powerful and it leaves a mark. That's why I wanted to touch on this topic today, because I want you to understand that this career is about so much more than what people think. It's so much more than what you may think, than what I thought when I was first getting started. There's real lasting impact in what we do. Our work creates memories, it shapes legacies, and when it's done right, that impact echoes through time. So welcome. Know that you're in good hands. Know that I have been in your shoes. This academy is really, it's meant to inspire you. If you're considering this as a career, one of the purest reasons why I love this work so much is because of the impact that I know that we create. It's something really special, and I can't think of a career that's more dynamic than events. So what do people think event planners do? They make checklists and color-coded timelines. They pick out flowers, linens, and decorate. They make things look pretty. They match color palettes and create aesthetic mood boards. I'm not saying this is not what we do. I'm saying this is what people think we only do. They stay on brand by choosing logos, fonts, and visuals that make things look good. They produce trendy, Instagrammable moments for brand activations. They also stress out behind the scenes, then make everything look effortless. They show up on event day with a clipboard and a coffee. They smile, they multitask, and they make everything look easy and glamorous. While all of that is true, it is what we do. That version of us is very surface level. And honestly, it's a little insulting to the depth and the responsibility of what we actually do. People often focus on the visual outcome, on what they see on the outside. The flowers, the signage, the lighting, the wow moments, but they don't realize that those moments are just the tip of the iceberg. They don't see what goes behind it all. The strategy, the intention, the months of planning, the decision making under pressure, not folding, continuing to believe in a vision that your clients sometimes can't see, that you can see, and having to have continuous faith for the moments of others. I promise you, it takes a superhero kind of strength, and we as event planners, we have to have it. You know, people see every beautiful detail and they admire it, but they don't understand that every beautiful detail is built on structure. It's built on budgets, logistics, team leadership, understanding client psychology, and clear communication. So yeah, the aesthetics matter, of course, but it's the invisible architecture, the invisible stuff that makes the experience, the entire event experience, truly unforgettable, truly legacy work. Now let's get personal, because I am no exception here. When I first got started in this industry, I got into it because I'm a girly girl, and I was like, oh cool, flowers, design, weddings. When I first got into this industry, I was 1000% first and foremost drawn to the beauty of it all. I thought it was about making things look pretty, creating magical moments, candles, flowers, and great lighting. Like any girly girl, who doesn't want that to be a part of their career? Honestly, I was so obsessed with the aesthetics, and a huge reason, getting personal here, was The Wedding Planner. That movie had such a big impact on me. I was around 11 or 12 when it came out. I remember it like it was yesterday, not really knowing, people would ask me all the time, what is it that you want to be? It's a very common question to ask a child. And it wasn't until I had seen The Wedding Planner that I was like, okay, this is it. This is the dream. This is my dream. It looked fun. It looked glamorous. It looked creative. And I really wanted to be that woman in the heels with the headset running the show. So when I saw Jennifer Lopez in The Wedding Planner, I immediately identified, and it was the first time that I was like, I know what I want to be. I really didn't know how to answer that question until The Wedding Planner. Sometimes I used to say that I wanted to be a news reporter. I've always liked the idea of speaking on camera, even as a child. So I'm here now, so I feel like I kind of manifested both. But other than that, I really didn't know what I wanted to be. So that was a question that I struggled with until I saw J-Lo in The Wedding Planner, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. But it was purely because of what I thought it was. So I started my event planning business at the age of 21. I hadn't worked for any event planning companies. I hadn't interned anywhere. I was a girl that worked at the Met Museum in the restaurant, one of the restaurants, and I was constantly watching events taking place at the Met Museum. And again, it was just something that I was experiencing on the outside, and I was like, ooh, I love this. I could do this. And so I decided to launch an event planning business, not having any experience, and I didn't realize the impact of the work for a while. It wasn't until I want to say the second year that I really started to understand that clients, they don't forget you, and you live on in people's lives through photos, through videos. The work that you do is felt. I have clients that keep in touch with me. I've done weddings for people where we keep in touch on Instagram, and I have been in their lives for so long, and I think that's really special. And they express gratitude, and I know that I'm a part of a chapter, whether it's a wedding or it's a company event. I know that the work that we do a lot of the times marks moments for people. So here's what I learned that we actually do. We lead complex projects from concept to execution, meaning people come to us with ideas, and it's up to us to make those ideas come to life, people's dreams. We design experiences that align with the client's goals, not just aesthetics. A lot of the times we get into this and we ask the wrong questions at first. How do you want it to look? No. How do you want it to feel? What is it that we're trying to get at? If it's a social client, a lot of the times it's feelings. But if it's corporate client, most of the times we have actual goals here. Maybe they're launching a product and they want the brand to feel more young and refreshing, and it's up to you as the event planner to bring that feeling forward. We translate those emotions and those values and those purposes, and we do it in physical space, and we do it with the flow that we create. We take them through an experience. We manage detailed budgets, contracts, and timelines with precision. I mean, a lot is at stake here when you're managing people's money. You're in charge of reading vendor contracts. If you don't realize certain rules are in these contracts, you can cost your client a lot of money. So you have to treat this with the utmost precision. The timelines as well, utmost precision, because you have to make sure that you're planning things in a way that feels right, in a way that aligns with the client's goals. And most of the time, you only have so much time to do it. Most events are on average 4 to 6, and so you have to really plan accordingly. You're expected to coordinate cross-functional teams of vendors, creatives, and staff. We deal with so many different personality types. We deal with so many different types of vendors, and I want to give you guys some clear examples. So the way that you deal with the DJ is not the way that you're going to deal with the florist. The way that you deal with the operations person, that mindset is more logistical, is not going to be the same way that you deal with a creative person who's a bit more abstract in their thinking. So as an event planner, you have to be very conscious of the way that you approach different people and all these different personality types. It's you in charge. You have to be able to handle high pressure situations and last minute changes with calm leadership always. This is tough. It really is. This is tough for a lot of event planners. We're constantly in situations where we have to be not just client facing, but we also have to be back of house vendor facing, and you have to do it in a way that you're composed, because people are looking to you for the answers. People are looking to you for what to do next. So as much as you're going like in your head because of whatever XYZ situation, we're constantly in a position that calm is our superpower. So it's something that we have to do. We also develop brand activations that are strategic, immersive, and measurable. What do I mean by this? People, your clients are not just going to care about how pretty the event was. They're going to want to measure it. They're going to ask for the impact that your event had. And there's ways to do that nowadays with socials. How cool was that activation that you created that so many people pulled out their phone? And there's ways to measure that now. You're also constantly navigating client emotions during deeply personal or high-stake events. It doesn't matter the type of event that it is, whether it's social or whether it's corporate. I'm going to give you 2 examples of how you're constantly navigating client emotions. So the purest example would be a wedding. You're dealing with weddings are a whole nother ball game in terms of emotional complexity. But I would say you're dealing with a bride and a groom, and they are entering each other's lives. So it's 2 families coming together, and there is a lot of emotion there because there might be expectations the mother-in-law has, and the bride is like feeling all of that, and they're very much telling you, the event planner, what it is that they're feeling. So you're having to navigate that emotion while still having to do your job. That is a social event in the sense of weddings. And then you might have a corporate event where you're dealing with the HR person, and the order of hierarchy is basically HR person, and the HR person is representing the company, and then there's you. And so that HR person is in the middle of their boss's expectation and you, and so you're feeling the pressure of what they're feeling and back, and they tell you that they're under pressure, and so you feel that pressure as well. So you're constantly like having to understand what the client is going through so that you can help them get through it better. Or it's also up to you to be like very like intuitive and just ask the questions like, who is it that we're trying to impress here? This is what we actually do. And this is the stuff that a lot of event planners don't know until they've done it for a while. We, as event planners, we create moments that feel effortless because they were masterfully planned. That's the goal anyway, for the client to walk away from the experience, not just the event, the planning experience as well, feeling like, wow, the celebration. They're not remembering a bad planning experience. And so I urge you to keep in mind, to keep in perspective that we as event planners, we shape how people remember a moment. And in many cases, we help people remember a whole chapter of their life. This is legacy work. This is memory work. We don't just organize logistics. We design moments that imprint on people's lives. People remember how a moment made them feel. That proposal that you helped orchestrate, they're going to replay it for the rest of their lives. This is emotional. Think about it. These clients are dreaming up this idea, and then you swoop in and you're like, ooh, I see it. And then you're able to actualize it. They'll always remember that. That brand launch, attendees are going to associate that feeling of innovation and the connection that you created with that brand forever. This is memory work. The lighting, the music, the energy in the room, these aren't just details. This is very intentional work. They're emotional cues. The warm lighting, the candles, you create a romantic feeling. Or maybe you're doing cool lighting, you're creating a refreshing feeling. When you do it right, it's not just aesthetics, it's emotion that embeds in people's memory. We give structure to emotional milestones. We make people feel things. A wedding isn't just a party. It's a marker of transformation, of union. A corporate gala isn't just a dinner. It's a reflection of a company's growth and culture. A product launch isn't just a press moment. It's a story people can carry into the world. What I'm sharing with you is a mindset. I don't want you to think, oh, it's a birthday party. It's just a birthday party. No, it is someone's 30th birthday, and it's marking the third decade of this person's life, of everything that they learned up until that point. When you think of any event, I need you to think deeper, ask deeper questions, and understand the impact, the fact that people are always going to remember this. So more examples of memory work in action, brand activations. So we create these immersive environments that help guests feel the brand. And then when you do it right, they're not just going to remember the logo. They're going to remember the message, the moment, the feeling. It's easy to go in there and just, give me the brand guidelines. Cool. Aesthetics. But a truly great event planner works with the client. Like, what is it that we're trying to have these guests walk away with? Like, what is the memory that we're trying to have them walk away with? We've touched a lot on weddings, but new unions, new commitments, reunions, anniversaries, events that bond people together emotionally and energetically. These are not just gatherings. These are transformation points. And another example of memory work, legacy work, this is me getting personal here, is memorials, end of life celebrations. Yes, you heard right. I take this work so seriously. because I've seen what it does for people. It's helping someone mark a moment that becomes part of their life story. That's why I chose to take this even deeper. Eventually, I plan to transition into end-of-life celebrations through my project, We Exist. If you go to my personal profile, you will see We Exist. This for me is like the next level in my career. I just want to continue to impact people's lives because I believe that end-of-life celebrations, those moments deserve just as much intentionality and creativity and love as any wedding or brand launch, but people just don't view it that way. So I'm building that future through my other brand, We Exist. It's a platform and a movement dedicating to reimagining how we honor life, legacy, and memory at the end. This is an alternative approach. Not many people are up on this yet, but I truly believe that We Exist is my legacy, because if we take the time to celebrate a product launch or a birthday, then we should definitely take the time to honor the totality of, it's all memory work to me, it's all legacy work, and it all matters. The picture you see of me is Gianna passed away tragically, and so we honored her life with an end-of-life celebration. And it was truly an epic event. It's a sad, of course, it's a sad occurrence, but it was a way to honor her life and help her family heal and move forward within their grieving process. The event holds 3 layers. Logistics, which is the structure, the timeline, the vendors, the space, the flow. Number 2, energy, the feeling people carry during the event. And number 3 is what they remember and they take with them after, legacy. Most people plan only for the first. We at Mastery of Events Academy, I urge you to operate in all 3. Don't just keep the logistics in mind, keep the energy in mind, keep the impact in mind. Work. It's a mindset method. Here's how I approach every project, from social events to brand launches, with these 4 key thoughts. What are we really honoring? What is our intention? What story are we telling? What is the vision? The structure. How do we organize the energy into actual flow? And impact. What are they going to feel and what are they going to remember? This method, this mindset centers meaning, not just deliverables. Not just a decorator, you're not just a coordinator, you're not just an event planner. You are a translator of emotion into experience, into time. You hold the vision, you create the flow, and you set the tone. You make dreams real and forever. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope that today's lesson is one that stays with you. I hope that you learned something here today. If you like what you saw here today, I urge you to join our free community on Nans.io. It's for aspiring planners, but also for event planners who want to share, who want to grow together. I started this community honestly because it's what I wish that I would have had. I'm going to be sharing daily tips and information, and I hope that you will also share things that you've learned. Maybe you have some questions. Right now, the community is open to all event planners. I hope to see you in there. I'm going to be including the link in the description of this video. And yeah, just come through. Let's be event besties. Let's be cool. If you like what you saw, please drop a comment, and I look forward to seeing you and meeting you all. Welcome to Mastery of Events Academy. Mwah. Thank you. Peace and love. Remember that the work that we do as event planners is so needed, especially in the times that we live in today. We're here to spread love, spread joy, spread positivity, In some cases, like you saw with the memorials, we're here to help provide families with healing. And so if you're able to look at this work the way that I've learned to look at it, I mean it when I say that when things don't go the way that we planned, because part of being an event planner is knowing that things don't always go the way that you planned. And it's ironic, right? Because we're planners, but that just is what it is. It's the law of planning, is that there are so many different factors that affect the outcomes. And so what keeps me grounded, what makes me a good event planner, is that I know that this matters to these people. And yeah, it's just completely, it shifted how I work and it shifted how I do things. And yeah, there's so much more where this came from. If you like what you saw today, please join the community. I hope to get to meet you, and I'd love to hear what you think. So long.